best news today. The sky over Seoul that day was filled with gray clouds, as if hiding a secret, cloaking the city in an unusual atmosphere. Cold air slipped between the tall buildings, carrying with it the scent of rain that had yet to fall. Amid the city's bustle, one piece of news slowly but surely made armies around the world hold their breath. Jungkook and Jimin were seen together today, but there was something different about their movements. It wasn't just the usual togetherness that often brought smiles to fans' faces. There was a signal, a kind of body language that seemed to speak without words. Since morning, the news began spreading from a short amateur video uploaded by an army on Twitter. The clip was only 14 seconds long, but it was enough to spark a wave of speculation. Jungkook and Jimin were seen walking through one of HYBE's building corridors, accompanied by two staff members following slightly behind. But what caught everyone's attention was the way they glanced at each other. A brief look, followed by a faint smile that felt more like a secret code than a casual grin. Many began to wonder, was this a sign of something they were about to announce? Some fans who happened to be near HYBE's building claimed they felt something different in the air. A fan named Hannah said that usually, Jungkook and Jimin would greet or wave cheerfully. But this time, while they still seemed friendly, their movements were a little more cautious, as if avoiding speaking too much in public. It's like they were hiding something, and that just made me more curious, Hannah said in a short interview that later went viral on social media. Not long after, another photo surfaced on Instagram, allegedly taken in HYBE's basement parking lot. It showed Jungkook with his head lowered, holding his phone, while Jimin stood beside him with his arms crossed. The dim parking lot lighting gave the photo a dramatic feel, almost like a scene from a movie. In the comments, thousands of armies speculated they were waiting for someone or something. Some guessed they were about to film a secret video, while others were convinced it was related to a long-rumored duet project. Korean media soon joined the chase. Dispatch sent a team to monitor their movements, while other entertainment news portals began contacting sources close to HYBE. But as usual, the agency remained tight-lipped. "We cannot provide comments regarding the artist's schedule," a HYBE representative replied briefly. That answer, instead of quelling the rumors, only fueled curiosity further. By late afternoon, the buzz reached its peak when a well-known fan site uploaded photos of Jungkook and Jimin at a small cafe in the Mapo district. Interestingly, this cafe is known as a popular meeting spot for celebrities to hold secret discussions due to its hidden location. In the photo, the two sat in the corner of the room, with a thick black folder and two nearly empty cups of coffee on the table. Though they appeared relaxed, their seating position was unusually close, as if they were discussing something no one else should hear. On Weverse, armies began creating theories. Some were convinced this was the beginning of a special Jungkook announcement, perhaps a song or performance combining their talents in an epic way. Others believed it might be preparation for a secret stage at an international award show. A few sharp-eyed fans claimed to spot a paper with the word NYC on the table, fueling speculation that they might be planning something in New York. Meanwhile, the atmosphere around the cafe began to grow busier as fans arrived after the location spread online. However, the cafe staff politely maintained a distance to protect their privacy. Eventually, Jungkook and Jimin left through the back door, escorted by two bodyguards. Fans' cameras only managed to capture fleeting shadows of them stepping into a black van. That night, Jungkook appeared on Weverse Live. Strangely, he didn't mention anything about his activities with Jimin that day. He simply greeted Army, played his guitar for a bit, and ended the stream with a mysterious smile. No explanation, no hints, just a look in his eyes that seemed to say, "Just wait." Armies all over the world went into a frenzy. Twitter timelines were flooded with theories, TikTok was swamped with edited clips of the day's moments, and Instagram stories were filled with reposts of the photos and short videos of Jungkook and Jimin. The more they stayed silent, the greater the curiosity grew. Some said it was all just a coincidence. Others believed that today marked the first chapter of something huge. But one thing was clear, Jungkook and Jimin's movements today were not ordinary. There was a story behind it, and only time would reveal it. And that night, as the rain finally fell over Seoul, in armies' rooms all around the world, one question lingered in their minds. Could today be the beginning of the year's biggest surprise? The rain that night came down softly, like a thin curtain covering the city. The streets glistened under the reflection of city lights, creating an atmosphere perfectly suited for hiding secrets. In one corner of Mapo district, a black van stopped in front of a small, nameless building. From the outside, it looked ordinary, but to those who knew, it was a place often used by top artists for private rehearsals or recordings without media interference. The van door opened, and Jungkook stepped out first. He wore a black hoodie with the hood pulled low over his face, revealing only the sharp line of his jaw under the streetlights. Jimin followed closely behind, wearing a gray bomber jacket and a mask that covered almost his entire face. They didn't say much, only exchanged a brief glance before entering the building. Once the door closed, the atmosphere inside shifted dramatically. Dim lighting cast long shadows on the walls, and the familiar scent of a wooden stage filled the room. A middle-aged man, seemingly the building's manager, greeted them with a faint smile. "Everything's ready inside. No one will disturb you tonight," he said briefly. Jungkook and Jimin nodded, then walked toward the rehearsal room on the second floor. The room was spacious, its walls lined with large mirrors. In the center stood a table with several sheets of paper, a laptop, and 2 bottles of water. Jimin removed his mask, revealing a face tired, yet full of determination. Jungkook sat down, picked up the top sheet of paper, and began reading intently. "Young, if we really do this, everything will change," Jungkook said softly, his voice barely above a whisper meant only for the walls to hear. Jimin walked closer and sat beside him. "Isn't that what we want? Something different. Something Army will never forget." His eyes shone with conviction, though tinged with a hint of worry. Jungkook let out a long breath, then smiled faintly. "I'm just not sure HYBE will approve it." Jimin chuckled lightly, though his tone carried a secret. "Sometimes, we don't need permission to create something we believe in. Besides, we're only going to give them a surprise. There's nothing wrong with that, right?" Their conversation paused as the sound of rain grew louder outside the window. Jungkook stood, walked over to a speaker in the corner, and played a song the public had never heard before. The melody was gentle, full of emotion, and the lyrics, sung in Jungkook's voice, felt raw and honest, as if they came straight from his heart. Jimin closed his eyes, listening intently. "This song, did you write it for us?" Jungkook interrupted quickly, his gaze sharp yet warm. "Not just for me, or for you, but for both of us, and for everyone who's been with us all this time." Jimin fell silent, then slowly nodded. "In that case, we have to make sure it's perfect." They spent several hours in that room, working on choreography, refining notes, and discussing details that most people might never notice. But to them, every move, every note, every look on stage mattered. Between practice, they sometimes threw playful jokes at each other, but the atmosphere would turn serious again when they spoke about their vision. Near midnight, the sound of Jungkook's phone ringing broke their focus. He looked at the screen, then at Jimin. "HYBE." Jimin straightened up. "Answer it." Jungkook pressed the green button and brought the phone to his ear. The voice on the other end was flat but firm. "We know you're in Mapo. Make sure you're not doing anything that will spark excessive rumors. Remember, everything must be scheduled and approved."